If you feel like you've gone backwards, ask yourself this instead. Have I actually gone backwards? Or have I simply become more aware, more thoughtful, and more responsive than I used to be? Because those things don't sound like regression to me. They sound like experience. Let's have a proper tack room chat. No judgment, no pressure, just honesty. Because I want to talk about something that every rider experiences at some point, but very few people actually say out loud. That feeling of, I was doing better than this before. I feel like I've gone backwards. Or the classic one, I used to be fine and now I'm not sure what's happened to me. And if you've ever thought anything like that, then you're not alone. You're not even close. In fact, I think most riders go through this at some point, and it can be really frustrating because you're still turning up and you're still trying your hardest, but it doesn't feel the same. It feels harder. It's more tense. It's less automatic. And you start questioning yourself. Why is this happening to me? Have I really lost it? Am I going backwards? And here's the thing, you're probably not going backwards at all, but your brain is doing something that's very unhelpful. And it's comparing today's feelings with yesterday's memories. And memory is a bit of a liar, isn't it? A bit like when you remember a ride and you think, oh, that was an amazing ride. I used to ride so well. And then you look back properly and you realise that that ride probably included a few near misses and a minor argument with the mounting block even before you got on the horse. But we don't remember it like that. We remember the highlights of the event, not the mistakes. Riding progress is not a straight line, and it never has been. It's not step 1, step 2, step 3 creates a perfect, confident rider forever. It's like a game of snakes and ladders. You go up the rungs of the ladder, and then suddenly something will happen and you hit a snake, and you come all the way back and you have to climb back up the ladder, each small win at a time. And it is messy. It's very messy. And if horses had a warning label, it would probably say, progress may include sudden emotional plot twists. Because just when you think things are going so well, a bird appears from out of nowhere, or the wind blows in the wrong direction, or your horse decides that the leaf is now personally offensive and about to kill it, and suddenly you feel like you're back at square one. But you're not. You're just in a moment. Feeling less confident does not always mean you are less capable. Sometimes it just means you are more aware. When we first learn things with horses, there's often a bit of ignorance, isn't there? We don't know what we don't know, so we just get on and we do it. Then experience comes in, and experience is brilliant, but it also brings awareness. And awareness sometimes brings hesitation, because now your brain knows, oh yes, I've seen how this could go very wrong. So it tries to protect you. And protection can feel like doubt, but it isn't the same thing as incompetence. It's actually your brain doing its job a little too enthusiastically, like an overprotective yard manager who won't let you do anything because it might rain later. And here's another thing that I see a lot of. Riders will have one tricky ride, or one tense moment, or one day where everything just feels off. And suddenly the whole narrative becomes, I've gone backwards. But what about the 10 rides before that? The quiet ones, the normal ones, the ones where nothing dramatic happened? We don't count those, do we? Because calm riding doesn't feel memorable. but it is still progress, even if it doesn't feel exciting. Well, I'd say especially if it doesn't feel exciting. Now let's talk about pressure for a minute. Because sometimes the biggest issue isn't actually the horse, it's what we think we should be doing. I should be further along. I should be braver. I should be able to jump this height by now. And that word should is a bit of a thief. It steals enjoyment. It steals patience, and it steals perspective, because it assumes there's a correct timeline for riding confidence. And there isn't. Horses don't read timelines. They don't care what you did last season. They care about what you like today. And so should we, really. Now, I'm going to say something that might sound a bit uncomfortable. Sometimes what feels like going backwards is actually just your brain updating its safety system. Like installing a software update you didn't ask for. Suddenly things feel different. Not worse, just different. And your job isn't to panic about that. It's to work with it. Smaller steps, quieter rides, more repetition, less pressure. Not because you're failing, but because you're recalibrating. Now, I want to leave you with this thought. If you feel like you've gone backwards, ask yourself this instead. Have I actually gone backwards? Or have I simply become more aware, more thoughtful, and more responsive than I used to be? Because those things don't sound like regression to me. They sound like experience. And experience isn't always neat, but it is valuable. Even on the messy days. I'd say especially on the messy days. So next time you finish a ride and you think, that wasn't like me, maybe pause for a moment and consider, maybe it is you, just not the version you expected. And I'll leave you there. Go have a cup of tea. Think about something that your horse did today that made you smile, even if it was small. And I'll see you in the next Tack Room Chat. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe. Bye.